Hello and welcome to Dish Shelved with Adam White. Today I've got a fairly large book haul. Um, I love vintage science fiction paperbacks, and any excuse to get some is a good one. So several of these were recommended by over at the YouTube channel Pulp Mortem. I'll try to remember to link it down below. Um, but he listed books that were science fiction treasures that kind of went under the radar. So I got some of those, and I also got some books on Kindle too. But there's no reason to even go into those because I can't show them. Um, but I will mention one of the ones I got on Kindle. It was called Marching Morons. I thought it was a MAGA book, but it turns out it's just a science fiction short story. So I thought that was cool, so I got it. So I'm looking forward to reading that. Anyway, let's get right into it. I got The Jupiter Plague by Harry Harrison. I've read one short story about Harry Harrison, one short story by him, and I really, really enjoyed it. I'm going to be talking about it in an upcoming video. So, Jupiter Plague was just one of his books that had come recommended online at a place I was looking at stuff. So, I got that. Also got This Immortal by Roger Zelazny. It's supposed to be really good. Uh, awesome cover. So I'm looking forward to reading that. Looking forward to reading all of these, but it was a Hugo Award winner too back in I can't remember when, but um, really interested in reading that. This Immortal, Roger Zelazny. I got Gerard Klein, The Overlords of War, and let's see, yeah, it's translated by John Brunner, who was a great author in his own right, and Gerard Klein wrote one of the stories in the World SF book that I talked about last time. He was one of the writers, and this was one of his books that was actually translated into English. And it was done by John Brunner, who's an author that I like. So I'm looking forward to reading this one as well. Uh, get a little bit more worldly in my SF reading. I got Star Wolf by Edwin Hamilton. It's got 3 novels in it of the Star Wolf saga. It was a trilogy, and this has all 3. It's a pretty thick book. I love Edmund Hamilton. I love the Captain Future stuff, so I'm really looking forward to this one too. I know I'm saying that on all of them, but I mean it. I really do. Okay, Roger Zelazny, Eye of Cat. I think is it short stories? No, I think it's a book. Well, obviously it's a book, but I thought it might be short stories, but it's not. Eye of Cat, another Zelazny book. He never disappoints. I'm looking forward to it. This one's the one I think is short stories, The Last Defender of Camelot. Yeah, it has 5 different Hugo and Nebula nominees in it, along with some other stuff. And The Last Defender of Camelot is supposed to be a really good story, and I'm sure that the rest of them are good too. So I'm looking forward to reading those. I'm running out of room here. I got Return to the Stars by Edmund Hamilton. I think this is part of a trilogy. Uh, I can't remember, but the other 2 I got on Kindle. But for some reason, this one, which I'm thinking might be the second one, Um, for some reason, it wasn't on Kindle, and the other two were. So I I got this one to be able to read the whole shebang. Okay, next one, Ernest Hill, Pity About Earth. Love that title. I saw this on BookTube, and I thought, I've got to get that. And it also has Space Cheney. It's an ace double. So I don't know about that one. I got it mainly for this because I just love the title, and it's hard to tell what the story's about, but I'm sure it'll be great. Next one is a Western called The Wolf is My Brother. It's by Chad Oliver. I believe on my last video, I read a science fiction book by Chad Oliver. He did a lot of science fiction, but he wrote 3 Westerns too. And I just happened to get all 3 of them because I really enjoyed the science fiction book as I read. And it's June on the Range now, so this is my intention to read this book next. For June on the Range, The Wolf is My Brother by Chad Oliver. He also did The Cannibal Owl, which was another Western. It's a little bit thicker. I don't know if I'll get to it, but The Cannibal Owl, how can you not like that? Sounds like a great Western. And then his other Western that he wrote was Broken Eagle, about has to do with Little Bighorn and a Cheyenne warrior that deals with that. And I'm looking forward to this one too. It's a little bit bigger too. But those were Chad Oliver's 3 Westerns that he wrote. So I'm looking forward to that. This is Michael Kerr, The Gemini Run. I read something about that or saw it on YouTube or something, and it's part of the Night Runner series, and it's the first book in it. I didn't even know it was a series when I ordered the book, but I think it was written by different authors. So if it's good, I might check out some of the others in the series. So, but again, Michael Kerr and the Gemini Run of the Night Runner series. And also got M.A. Foster, The Game Players of Zan. I don't even remember exactly why I ordered this, but I read something about it online and thought it sounded interesting. It's another big book too, but I'm I'm definitely interested in reading books as a new talent in the SF field. Still having trouble reading with these, but the Ire had been genetically created to be a new race of supermen, and the experiment had not been entirely successful. They were superior to normal humans in certain ways, but all too human in others. So that is what goes on here. Again, I just read stuff about science fiction online, and when I see one that sounds good or that has a catchy cover, I just get it. It's just the way I am. So, looking forward to that one. Okay, that was the second pile. The next, and this is, I believe, definitely one of the ones that I saw on Pulp Mortem, was Christopher Anvil, Warlord's World. I looked it up online, and it looks like it's part of a really long series that Christopher Anvil did. And this is a later one in it, but I looked and I couldn't find any of the first ones in the series, and so I'm just going to go with this one because he said it was good, and I thought it made it worth checking out. So Warlord's World. And now for something completely different. Catcher in the Rye by Bob Uecker. Uh, for anybody that's a baseball fan, you know and love Bob Uecker. We just lost him earlier this year, and I've always wanted to read his book, but it's always been like $100 and $200 on the secondhand market, and I couldn't get it. And the other day, I happened to check on it, and I found a copy for $14.99. So I thought, I'm never going to get better than that. I better get it. So, um, yeah, and it says at the top, the man who made mediocrity famous. Bob Uecker was anything other than mediocre. He was truly, truly funny, and one of those people that could make anything funny, like Leslie Nielsen or George Carlin. Uh, he absolutely had a talent for it. He was always self-deprecating, and he really had so much talent. And he was a great announcer for the Brewers too for like 50 years or something. Uh, and I really wanted to read this book for a long time, so I'm really glad I got a hold of that. Here's another one, The Right Hand of Dextra. I just thought it had a cool cover. So this might be another one that was pulp mortem. But the right-handed extra, I don't really know anything about it other than I thought the cover was cool. So uh, I've had some real winners though on just picking it by the cover. Fletcher Pratt, Invaders from Rigel. Don't really remember why I got this one. I think the cover's pretty cool. Um, Astronomers had observed the comet for some time and had predicted its course it would collide with Earth. But there was no hysteria. Scientists were apparently convinced the results wouldn't be dangerous to life. But Murray Lee woke up with a feeling of overpowering stiffness in every muscle. He turned over in bed and felt his left elbow, which seemed to be aching particularly, and received the shock of his life. The motion was attended by a creaking clang, and his elbow felt like a complex wheel. Why, he was metal all over. Okay, that sounds interesting. uh, it's called Invaders from Rigel. It's about a comet that's going to hit Earth, and it's about a guy who wakes up that's all metal all of a sudden. So that's three great things in one book. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one now. That looks pretty cool. Um, this was definitely another one from Paul Mortem, Nightmare by Morton J. Golding. Again, just a great cover. Sounded like a good book, so I thought I'd pick it up. And most of these were about an average about $5 a piece for most of them. Some of them were a little bit more, but the Robot Brains, love the title, love the cover. Supposed to be good, so I thought I'd check it out. This one was another one recommended, The Soul Sucker by Ted Sabine, about a giant spider that makes people think they're seeing a beautiful woman and then eats her victims. I just thought that was too good to pass up. So I thought I'd definitely give that a check out. The Architect of Sleep by Stephen Boyette had some kind of like raccoon-like creatures in it that were human type raccoons, and that honestly was enough for me. Uh, I thought, that's cool. Uh, I'll check that out. It's a bigger book, but I'll eventually get to it. But I really thought that the notion of human raccoon just struck my fancy for some reason. And then The Big Eye by Max Ehrlich. Um, they were the last days, they were the days of darkness, the last days and hours before the end of the world. Every man, woman, and child watched the slow, relentless approach of darkness and doom, helpless, bewildered. It wasn't just a state of mind, it was a presence. You could almost smell the fear. It had feel and texture like a shifting shroud. It had movement like a slow creeping paralysis, reaching clammy fingers into every crevice. Then suddenly the panic was forgotten, and a new awareness gripped the people. The basis for the ordinary peacetime law doesn't exist in a world without a future. And out of the growing rumble of human passions, a new kind of law began to evolve, the law of a world without a future. So that sounds interesting. Plus, it's got a fantastic cover. Uh, so definitely eager to check that out. Next is a book of short stories called Heroic Fantasy. I think the cover looks a little bit like a romance novel, but over at Pulp Mortem, he said that the best short story he'd ever read was in this collection. I can't remember which one it is off the top of my head, but um, and like I said, I owe several of these books to Pulp Mortem for introducing them to me. And so I thought, well, if it's the best short story ever read, I really ought to get a copy and read it. So got a copy of it, gonna read it. The next one I got was the Stars trilogy by, I believe, Robert Hoskins. Yeah, Robert Hoskins. And it's Master of the Stars, To Control the Stars, and To Escape the Stars. And I read that they have some kind of stargates in them. And I'm wondering if maybe the people that made Stargate had ever read these books. But I'm eager to see because they look like fun books. And if it had anything to do, and I love Stargate, don't get me wrong. I'm just wondering if maybe some of the inspiration for that came from these books. So I hope to find out sooner than later. But like you can see, I've got a ton of stuff on my TBR now. Not that I didn't already have a lot of stuff, but so definitely Robert Hoskins, Master of the Stars, To Control the Stars, To Escape the Stars. And their covers are pretty cool too. Um, the last ones I've got, The Ultimate Man by John E. Muller. I found this in a book that just shows old pulp covers, and I thought it looked interesting. So I picked it up. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff about it on the back, so I'll skip it. But just for time constraints here, but Ultimate Man, John E. Muller. I just thought it looked cool. It said a little bit about it in the book, and so I thought I'd pick up a copy. This is Among Mad Men by Jim Starlin and Dana Grazianis, I guess. But Jim Starlin was known for being a comic book writer and artist, and so he's got art all throughout this book, which I thought was an interesting touch. And just all the chapters have stuff with lots of great art from Jim Starlin. So that was enough for me that it was Jim Starlin writing it and that he did some illustrations for it. So that's pretty cool. And the last one is called Red Moon and Black Mountain by Joy Chant, which looks like it's all one title there, which doesn't, I don't know why they didn't use a different font or something for her name, but it's kind of confusing. But it I think is more of a fantasy. Yeah, Night of the Dark Sorcerers. So it just looked cool and sounded cool. So I picked it up. And that is the end of that book haul. I hadn't really done a big book haul in quite a while, probably since Pulp Fest. And so I thought I'd just share all those because book hauls usually do pretty good on views. So I thought I'd take the easy out and do a book haul this time. So thanks for hanging in there with me. I appreciate you watching, and I hope to catch you sooner than later.